While researching the best blender for nut butter, I considered the motor power, blade design, speed settings, and durability, as well as how much other customers like them. And with that said, here are the must-know pros and cons of each of the best blenders for nuts on my list. Don't forget to click the links below to see the latest price for each of the products. Making nut butter with the JAWZ blender was so much easier than I expected. The powerful 600-watt motor really showed its strength by effortlessly grinding nuts into a smooth butter without any hint of struggle. Similarly, the variable speed dial offered me the flexibility to start slow and ramp up the speed as needed, which was particularly useful in avoiding any mess. Also, the 64-ounce capacity meant I could process large batches of almond butter in one go, cutting down my prep time significantly. I appreciated the industrial-grade build, which assured me it could handle heavy-duty tasks consistently, which is important if you're a frequent blender like I am. Likewise, the stainless steel blades were sharp and durable, giving a fine, consistent blend every time. On the flip side, this blender isn't the quietest, but then again, blenders aren't really meant to be quiet kitchen devices. Additionally, its size means it occupies a fair bit of counter space, which might not be ideal if your kitchen real estate is limited. Also, while I believe it's worth the investment, the cost may be a consideration if you're on a tight budget. Ultimately, if you're serious about making nut butter at home and are looking for the best blender for peanut butter or almond butter, then this JAWZ model is definitely worth considering. Now, at number 4, we have the Ninja SS 151 TWISTi Blender Duo, which I have to say is the best nut butter blender for those who want pre-programmed settings without spending a fortune on a blender. I recently got my hands on the Ninja SS 151 TWISTi Blender Duo, and it's a game changer for making nut butter at home. The motor boasts 1600 watts of power, which means it doesn't struggle with thick, tough ingredients like nuts. Likewise, the high-speed blades and smart torque gay technology ensure that there's no stalling during the blending process. Also, the built-in twist tamper is an excellent feature. It allows me to push down ingredients toward the high-speed blades, creating a consistently smooth and creamy nut butter every time, and you'll no longer have to stop and stir manually. With 5 different functions, the Ninja is more than just a blender. I've used it not only for nut butter, but also for smoothies and spreads, making it a great all-around kitchen assistant. It's really versatile and easy to clean with dishwasher-safe parts, and the added drizzle cap is a neat touch, allowing me to add ingredients while blending. If you're in the market for the best nut butter maker and a versatile kitchen appliance, this would be a solid investment. Moving on to the third best blender for nuts, we have the Breville Q blender, which is a great option to buy today for anyone serious about creating smooth, rich nut butter at home. Right away, the Breville Q blender's powerful 1,800 watt motor caught my attention. When making nut butter, no nut was too tough. It whipped everything into a creamy perfection that was so much tastier than the store-bought stuff. The multiple speed settings allowed me to switch from chunky to silky smooth with ease, enabling me to unleash my culinary creativity and experiment with different types of nut butter. Operating this blender was a breeze as well, thanks to its intuitive controls and settings. I love the 4 one-touch programs, especially the smoothie and ice crushing functions. 1 minute it was blending vegetables, and the next it was pulverizing nuts without skipping a beat. Similarly, the auto clean function is a lifesaver when I'm testing different appliances. A bit of water and detergent, and the blender self-cleans in no time. Overall, if you're after the best nut butter machine or the best blender for almond butter, the Breville Q blender is well worth considering, especially considering it has a 7-year warranty. Taking the number 2 spot on my best nut butter blender list is the Blendtec Total Blender Classic, which is a powerful machine perfect for anyone serious about making smooth, creamy nut butter. The Blendtec Total Blender Classic impressed me right out of the box. because its high-powered motor made quick work of even the toughest nuts that I threw at it, turning them into smooth, creamy butter in no time. I just love how effortless this Blendtec is to use. Whether I'm blending almonds, peanuts, or cashews, this heavy-duty machine turns them all into creamy creations in no time at all. Additionally, the detachable blades and dishwasher-safe parts mean I spend less time scrubbing and more time enjoying my nut butter. Plus, it handles more than just nut butter. Smoothies, soups, and even dough mix perfectly with this appliance, making it a great investment for those who like to get the most from their kitchen gadgets. There are a few drawbacks though. It's quite noisy, which might be an issue if you prefer a quieter kitchen. Also, its substantial size means I had to clear a good amount of shelf space to store it. Finally, it's on the pricier side, but in my opinion, the performance justifies the cost for serious users, as it really is one of the best almond butter blenders that I've tested. So, what is the best blender for making nut butter that you can get? If you want consistent, high-performance blending for making nut butter at home, the Vitamix E310 is the best blender for nut butter based on my testing. Using the Vitamix E310 Explorian blender feels like having a professional chef's tool right in my own kitchen. Based on my testing, the blending power is unmatched at this price point, turning nuts into smooth butter effortlessly. Everything blends so uniformly, which really elevates my homemade recipes by giving them that professionally touch. For me, it's the best Vitamix for nut butter that you can get without spending some seriously big bucks. As someone who values convenience in the kitchen, one of the standout features is how easy it is to clean. Just blend some warm water and dish soap for a minute, and it's spotless. This saves me a lot of time and effort compared to other blenders I've used, which can be a nightmare to scrub. The versatility of the Vitamix is another big plus. Whether I'm making smoothies, soups, or nut butter, it handles everything with ease. Yet, while I definitely rate this as the best blender to make peanut butter, I also acknowledge that some of the more affordable options can make fantastic nut butter as well. So, although I highly rate this Vitamix, don't feel obliged to splurge if you're on a budget. And with that said, I really hope my video helped you to pick the best blender for nut butters for you. Again, the links to each of these products are at the top of the description box. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.